Hello everybody, I'm Scott.
I'm Chelsea.
And we are the Gallivanting Gamers.
It's true.
And we're having today a versus battle between Excitebike and Mach Rider.
Are you excited to talk about Excitebike?
Super excited. So we went over Excitebike today. What did you notice? Which one do you like better so far? To start off the bat.
I think so far I like Excitebike better. It looks like it's easier to control, probably.
It is 100% easier to control. I like Mach Rider a little bit better, mainly based off of nostalgia. It's one of the first games I've ever played, so it's got a little soft spot in my heart.
And you played it with your mom?
Yes. It was one of the first games she liked. Her favorite part was the fact that you could design your own courses, which you can also do in Excitebike with the obstacles there. Both of these games are real similar. They both have design features, and they both are motorcycle racing games where you shoot another bicyclist, or motorbikist, whatever the word is.
You said they both have design features.
Yes, they both have.
I hope that most games have design features.
They both have the ability to allow you to design the game.
They both have... Oh, I get it.
Yes, you can design your course in each game.
I was like, I hope that there's design features in these games. Okay, I'm sorry.
The feature, the ability, yeah, you did. The ability to design your own course was fun. You know, even today, we like the idea of game developers putting the creativity into some of the players' hands. That's why the Mario makers are so popular. Well, back then, that's what this game was doing. And,
Excitebike maker.
Excitebike and Mach Rider both have the ability to where you can design your own levels and let your friends play them, and that was kind of fun. So let's break down some of the categories just to talk about each one. The biggest thing I would want to say is obviously Excitebike is a side-scrolling bike game where you're going around a track, as opposed to Mach Rider, which is sort of a third-person view from behind. It has an ever-changing sprite, or large sections of large multiple sprites that bend and twist to give the illusion of a three-dimensional track coming towards you, even though it's not quite 3D, of course, but it was interesting to see that be used in that way.
On the NES.
On the NES.
And it's funny because when I was looking at these, I felt like Mach Rider just looked like the evolution of Excitebike. I'm like, oh, it almost looks like it could just be the sequel. Because they're basically the same game, but one's like classic side-scroller style, the other one's like a point of view type thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, out of the two perspectives, which ones do you like better, the side-scroller or the sort of mock-up, pun intended, of the 3D element?
I haven't actually played either of them yet, but I'm kind of leaning toward I always lean toward the side-scrolling.
Okay. I kind of like the 3D side of it, the one where it's coming at you, just because it is a little bit different. It's not that different. You've seen similar things in like Rad Racer and some of the other racing games on the NES, but I still find it, kind of, it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, and it is cool to see like all the different landscapes, even if sometimes it's just a color swap. You're like, ooh, a purple one.
Exactly.
Instead of just like a stadium over and over.
Yep. And speaking of that, now I'm going to talk about the palette swap and the graphics side of it. Unfortunately, as exciting as Excitebike can be, it's stuck to primarily the main colors that it presents you with at the beginning. In Mach Rider, the colors keep changing up throughout different levels, and I don't know if it's because I grew up a Nintendo fanboy, but I have a soft spot for palette swaps.
It's a feast for the eyeballs.
I was extremely excited to see green bubbles after seeing so many purple ones in Metroid. That literally brought me joy. And the bicyclists have an interesting look in Mach Rider. You're seeing them from sort of the behind and the side. Graphically, which one do you prefer, Chelsea?
I feel like the Mach Rider one looked a little more badass.
Okay. I'd probably, yeah, so graphically I like Mach Rider a bit more.
He's like,
yeah. Now, this one's a tough one. Now, back to the idea of course design. I want to say both systems had course design, but they're both a little weird. Like in Excitebike, all the elements you can add are identified through the alphabet, letters A through Z. Each letter represents a hill, a change or a cut in the track itself, a mud spot
That's all obstacles.
that can slow down, all obstacles, the arrows that make it go faster. So all the obstacles are represented by letters, which can be kind of hard to navigate for Excitebike. But that doesn't mean Mach Rider is all that much better, because it does have literal examples of the track that you can kind of analyze, loops, curves. Kind of looks like a big spaghetti string that you pointed out. But but it's weird. It's very situational. So once you place down one piece, other pieces may or may not be available, and you have to get used to navigating that space as well. And it can be kind of hard to put together a complete track trying to figure that out. However, once you can do it, you can save that track for later gameplay, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So on course design, do you have a preference between those two?
That's hard because I feel like with the obstacles, it's a little more obvious.
Yeah.
Like you can see them and you're like, oh, I gotta go over this now. I'm gonna catch some bad air here.
Yep.
Whereas with the Mach Rider, it seemed like you pick how it goes, but since you're doing it in that like first person thing, you can't really tell.
Yeah, it's more about just how it turns and twists, that's it. There's no real obstacles. You don't place down where the water puddles are, or the mud puddles, or the spikes on the road, or anything like that. So you're just ultimately, at the end of the day, dictating the turns. And you can make a very loopy course and make it really hard and frustrating, but that's the challenge. Part of the challenge of the game is the loose control and how hard it can be to take turns.
Yeah. I feel like setting up the loopy-loops in Mach Rider might be more fun, but I feel like, you know, as opposed to like Excitebike where you're like, okay, I gotta go to a letter, oh, so it gets me this hill, and like it's probably like long and confusing process, but I feel like it might be more rewarding visually when you're done, because like you can see everything that you did, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And that brings me to our final topic on it, was the game control itself. And I feel like neither of us would disagree in saying that playing Excitebike makes more sense in the sense of game control. You move him to the right, he accelerates, he goes up and down to dodge enemies and obstacles. When it comes to Mach Rider, it's more of it's a racing game from a third person's perspective, so you're going left to right a lot, and speeding up and slowing down, and more frequently you're shifting gears as Mach Rider, hence the term Mach Rider. So
yeah, like I said, I haven't actually played either of them yet, but watching somebody play Mach Rider, I can tell that they're having a hard time controlling, because they're like weaving all around the lanes. Like I can see that it's a struggle.
On one hand, because it's going so fast, it can be exhilarating, like oh boy, I gotta dodge this. That's part of the excitement, but it takes a little getting used to.
It reminds me of playing, I think I played like Nicktoons Racing or something when I was a kid a couple times, and you're just kind of like, whoa, And it doesn't matter that you hit the walls because nothing bad happens.
So with all that laid out vertic-wise, are you still stuck on Excitebike?
I don't know. I like them both. I feel like Mach Rider might be more fun to play. I mean, I'm interested to try both of them, but Mach Rider makes me think of those games that you play in like the arcade.
Exactly.
Where you're like, oh yeah, whoa.
Which actually makes a lot of sense because I believe this is true for both Excitebike and Mach Rider. Don't quote me, but I'll look it up and we'll find out here. But
don't at him.
But I know Mach Rider is based off of an old arcade game. I believe Excitebike is as well. I might be wrong about Excitebike, but I know that Mach Rider is. So, and that would make sense because Mach Rider has that arcade feel. So, all in all, I'd say it's a good port to the home system to bring that arcade action to your TV screen. So for me personally, I lean towards Mach Rider. That's my favorite, but there's a big nostalgia bone in there that is influencing that decision. Tell me what you guys think. Which one do you think is more superior? For whatever reason, Mach Rider or Excitebike? Please drive over the like, the like button, the subscribe button, the bell, whatever, all that stuff.
Papa Wheelie.
Papa Wheelie on the bell. That would be great. See you on the next game. Bye.